The hay is in the barn for us here for week 3 for the college football season. The biggest game for us, the BetMGM game of the week for us, is Georgia going to Neyland Stadium to play Tennessee. So with that being said, I want to give our final take, our last parting shot on this game before we jump into the madness that is week 3 of the college football season. Going to give you a take for Georgia and for Tennessee and what a win would mean for either side. Before we do that, if you're a Tennessee fan or if you're a Georgia fan, make sure you're subscribed. We will have immediate reaction to this game for you on the On3 YouTube channel. We want you dialed in here. It's college football season. You're a sicko for this sport, like we're a sicko for this sport, so we appreciate you being locked in, appreciate you being subscribed. For Georgia, a lot of talk around the offense, right? Mike Bobo going east and west, the screen game this, the screen game that. I think Georgia's been saving some stuff. I don't think that Kirby Smart and that entire organization out there in Athens went to the transfer portal for their health, to go get Zachariah Branch, to go get Noah Thomas, to go get all these weapons at the high school level. I think this is the game now. We see Georgia start to open it up a little bit more, push it downfield. And also now, my take on this is I think we leave this game kind of eyebrow raised of like, okay, Gunnar Stockton can spin it. Like, I think there's this narrative that Gunnar Stockton is a guy that needs to just not crash the car for the Georgia offense. I don't think that's wrong, but I also don't think that Gunnar Stockton's there to just hand the football off 40 times and have a good time on the sideline while the defense does their deal. I think like Gunnar Stockton will actually be asked to throw the football downfield a little bit more in this game. The bullets that Georgia has been saving, we see them in this spot. It would make all the sense in the world to not open it up all that much when you play Marshall and Austin Peay. We see Georgia start to flex a little bit more here in this game with the passing game. Now for Tennessee, I think we leave this game feeling more confident in them. A better way to say this, I think we leave this game taking Tennessee more seriously. And that's coming from somebody now, full transparency. I picked Georgia to win the football game. But before the year, everyone's saying if Tennessee could win 8 games, that'd be a good year for Tennessee. If Tennessee could maybe sniff 9 wins, awesome. I think we leave this game and say, all right, Tennessee, yeah, you lost, but with that talent on the other side, with Georgia, with that head coach on the other side, to make it as close as you did, again, I think it's a 3-point win for Georgia, so back and forth, and then ultimately it comes down to like a one-possession game. I think we leave this game saying, all right, if that's what they are in the third game of the year, what are they going to be when they play Bama in October? What are they going to be when they get into the final stretch of their schedule? Maybe more importantly, what's their record in November when they get to the month of November, rather? Like, are they in a spot where they could maybe find a way into the college football playoff if they go beat that Florida team in the swamp? So I think regardless of how this game finishes on the final score side, I think that you watch Tennessee play and you see a different brand of ball than when Josh Heupel got there and what they've built to in the trenches. I think you see Joey Aguilar look serviceable, maybe even more than that. You leave this game taking Tennessee more seriously in the SEC. Now, a win for Georgia, I think, would just kind of be a bit of an exhale for the folks in Athens, because the narrative is as bad as it could be, offensively at least, when you talk about the wins over Austin Peay and the way they've started this year. And it's not so much the fact that they're 2-0 and they've won by the margin they've won by. It's how it's looked. And to be real now, this is kind of how Georgia has started the year over the course of the last couple of seasons. And I know there's some games where you say, no, that's Georgia football when we take belt to behind against Clemson. That's what we expect. I hear you, but like Georgia 2022, 2023, 2024, there's a game in there that makes you feel a touch nervous, maybe even second-guess yourself as to how you feel about Georgia. October 1 in 2022, Georgia plays Missouri to a 4-point game. Just found a way to get it done. Georgia went on to win the national title that year. 2023, September 16th, early on in the year, South Carolina. I believe South Carolina was actually up at half against that Georgia team. Georgia ended up winning by 10, and the whole week after, everyone's like, man, what's wrong with Georgia? Is Georgia going to be able to pick themselves up off the mat? Is Georgia who we thought they were? Georgia was fine that year, okay? 2024, last year, Georgia plays a 1-point game against Kentucky. Final score 13-12. What's wrong with Georgia? Man, Kirby lost his what's up? Is Georgia who we thought that? Is Georgia an imposter? Georgia won the SEC. So just Georgia winning a game like this, even if it doesn't look all that dominant, there's nothing wrong with Georgia. Just I'm not worried about how it looks. I'm not worried about what the box score says. As long as you win this game, I think everyone can just say, okay, don't care how that looked. We won the game. We move forward. A win for Tennessee now is, I think, more impactful in the sense that this feels like a chance to level up, maybe in the mind of college football fans, the college football public, and maybe most importantly in the minds of recruits. Tennessee is, depending on where you cut off the SEC tiers at, I think you can argue they're a Tier 1 team. I think that you still, though, have a separate qualifier around the Tennessee football program. When you speak about Georgia, when you speak about Texas, historically, when you speak about Alabama, Tennessee is like on the front door of getting into the Tier 1 house, in my mind, okay? A win like this, though, think about what that would say around what Josh Heupel has done on the recruiting trail, what he's done schematically, what they've done building that staff, all those things. I think this would be similar to what we saw in 2022 when they beat that Alabama Nick Saban team. It just felt like, okay, Tennessee is at a different level here right now in the world of college football. If you beat this Georgia team with all that's gone on over the course of this offseason, with this Tennessee team, with a quarterback that missed spring practice after losing the majority of your offensive line, after losing the SEC Offensive Player of the Year, that to me would shout, okay, Tennessee, the Tier 1 conversation becomes much more real at that point to me if you beat that Kirby Smart football team. So that's our final take here on Georgia, Tennessee. I cannot wait for this one. I know you can't wait for this one. If you want all the content around this game, in the post game, and then going forward throughout the rest of the college football season, make sure you are subscribed. For Caden Smith on Ones and Twos, for myself, JJ PicKell. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. We'll keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time.